Should America adopt the universal healthcare system? The American healthcare system is not universally accessible while funded publicly and privately. It is also expensive. It runs through Medicare and Medicaid, and it has imperfect market conditions, where it gives the buyers no choice, so they have to live with the service that they're getting. It is costly, unequal, and only average healthcare compared to other countries, which in turn makes it unorganized and unfair. The universal healthcare system. Not all countries use this, but the ones in green do. It's a system in which all residents of a particular country or region are assured access to have healthcare. It is more fair than the American system, but it still has its drawbacks, such as a healthy person that works out every day and takes care of themselves gets the same amount of care as a person that does not and smokes, for example. It has more government involvement, which makes a con for some people, and it is overall lower cost. Moving on to government involvement, the amount of government involvement on all parts of life varies on the person's opinion. For healthcare, for the universal healthcare system is controlled largely by their country's government, which could be a bad thing, and it does cost a lot through taxes, but it represents equality. For the United States, it is not deeply involved with their healthcare, but regulates things such as money and quality of service, safety of pharmaceuticals, and also other medical devices. Government involvement is both a good and bad thing, where if too much, they could take control of you, and if too little, the services could be ineffective and poor. Both systems have their cons. System cons for the universal healthcare system is that taxes will be higher than Americans due to the government controlling all of the expenses of healthcare. With that said, the system is also flawed because a very healthy person is getting the same policy as a person that does not take care of themselves, smoking for example. Cons for the American healthcare system starts at availability. Without an employer that provides access to healthcare, it is not cheap to get a plan. On top of that, there is different levels of care that you can pay for, which is just another way for companies to take your money. Lastly, the confusion. It seems that before you can get healthcare in the United States, you have to study it and figure out how it works so you can get the best and cheapest, which is some type of game that Americans should not have to play. Concluding in why America should switch. Any change has its pros and cons. But with this switch, the pros outweighs the cons greatly. Taxes. Even though the taxes will raise, the price that employers can pay will go up due to them not having to fork out insurance money or healthcare money for their workers. Reliability. Lower class people lack reliability with things in their life, so this will help out the lower class and help them get their feet under them when healthcare is an issue. Happier citizens. People of all classes will be happier because even the lower and middle class people will have good service and good healthcare. The higher class people can still pay for their luxuries and their extra care if they want them. Longer life expectancy. Universal healthcare countries' life expectancy are much better than America's at 49th. So yeah, this is my works cited. And my works cited continued. And America should switch to the universal healthcare system.